Welcome second year EC student, myself Subrata Mojumdar. Today I will going to discuss you with one of the experiment from your subject of circuit theory and network lab, which code is EC392 for this year third semesters. So the content of this presentation: first is experiment number. This is your experiment number 2 as per your syllabus, and title of the experiment: verification of Norton theorem. And objective is to verify the Norton theorem and do the circuit analysis accordingly. And thereafter, name of the simulation platform which I used over here, theoretical background, required for conducting this experiment, and familiarization with similar simulation software. And lastly, I have added here a total video demonstration of the simulation process. It will help you when your real lab will start. Now, name of the simulation platform is basically it's a web simulator provided by IIT Kharagpur. The link is given over here. You have to copy this link and paste it in your any updated browser where JavaScript will be allowed, should be allowed. And under this table, below this table, I have mentioned over here all the virtual, at the left side, all the virtual equipment and component, and according to the specification of this component and instruments and the quantity. So first we need a standard PC with the internet connection, which will be running with a Windows XP, Vista or higher. Then the RAM and the hard disk of the PC, minimum requirement of 512 MB RAM or 500 MB hard disk space. CRT or LCD monitor, minimum resolution should be 1024 into 768 or higher. Keyboard and standard keyboard and mouse with a ES layout keyboard and pointer device or any mouse. And actually we need a variable resistors for this simulation for build the circuit first with a value of 100 ohms, 150 ohms, 200 ohms and 300 ohms, one each. A virtual voltage source, two virtual voltage source actually, one each, one of 220 volt, another is 100 volt, two DPDT switch, virtual switch, double pole double throw, and two moving coil, for one for the voltmeter, another for the ammeter. Now student, let's familiarize with some basic theoretical introduction about Norton's theorem. Here for our easiest tasks we have divided the entire experiment in 4 parts as a case 1, case 2, case 2b and case 3. Let us learn what is Norton theorem and what is the motto to doing this experiment. Norton theorems state that any linear circuit containing several energy sources and resistance, or you can say elements, can be replaced by a single constant current generator in parallel with a single resistor. So by doing this applying this Norton theorem, we can simplify any complex network linear circuits. So this is our complex network linear circuit, a linear circuit containing several energy, maybe it's voltage source, current source, dependent or independent, and connected with a load. So if we convert this circuit in a more simplified circuit by this type, so we could calculate the load current very easily. So Norton theorem is it is an analytical method used to change a complex circuit into a simple equivalent circuit consisting of a single resistance in parallel with a current source. Okay, this is the current source and the single resistance called, you will learn later, it will also be called as a Norton resistance, and this imaginary current source is called as Norton current. So by illustrating further, in this type we have divided the entire circuit by 4 parts. First let's see the case 1 and case 2a. To verify Norton theorem, we need a linear active network consisting of independent or dependent voltage and current sources and linear bilateral network elements, which can be replaced by an equivalent circuit consisting of current sources in parallel with resistance. You already know that from the previous slide. So the current sources being the short circuiting current across the load terminal and resistance being the internal resistance of the source network looking through the open circuited load terminals. Okay, so it says that if you try to read the equivalent Norton resistance, then you have to open this load RL and measure from this ends, and that time you should deactivate your deactivate your voltage source by only leaving the internal resistance left over there. So from figure 1 we can get very easily the total current IT equals to Vs by the entire resistive network. So it is achieved by Ohm's law. And in the second circuit where we replace the load by a short circuit, then here we apply a general current distribution law, and then we find the short circuiting current ISC, which is also called is IN, Norton current, will be given by the total current multiplied by the ratio of this effective resistance R3 by summation of these two, R3 plus R2. Now the second session where the case 2b and case 3 has been discussed. This is the figure 3 where we remove the load resistor and as well as the voltage source, conventional voltage source, independent voltage source, but leaving continue the internal resistance of this source. So it is very negligibly, practically it is very negligible. So assume that is a conductive wire. So in this case short circuited is removed and the independent source is deactivated as shown in figure 3. So therefore R internal or Rn, Norton resistance, will be given by R2 plus R1 into R3 divided by R1 plus R3. Same logics applied here. As we short circuited this source, so this node COM will connected over here. So this action actually make R1 and R2 in parallel. Sorry, R1 and R3 are connected in parallel. So the total Norton resistance of this circuit, if we measure from this node to this node, we will get this R3 resistance R3 plus equivalent resistance of this two resistance R1 and R3. So R2 is this one is R2, okay, and R1 and R3 is these two resistance. So we will get the Rn by summation of this resistance and equivalent of these two resistance. Next, figure 4, where we will find the Norton equivalent circuit. So it's a Norton equivalent circuit where this is current, this is a current source, this is a Norton resistance, and this is RL as well. So as per Norton theorem, the equivalent circuit as shown in figure 4 would contain a current source in parallel to the internal resistance, this one, and this current source is nothing but ISC, your short circuit current, and internal resistance RNT or RN, so that the current source being shorted, okay, and the current across shorted terminals is equal through the load resistors RL. Obviously, then from the figure 4 we will get current through RL equals to ISC, this current source ISC, which we will get from the previous slide, and internal resistance RINT, this one, divided by RINT plus RL. So this is the 6-step simulation process. Our actual simulation circuit will look like this when we go to simulate at the website. Let's discuss the 6 steps, how it will be achieved. Keep all the resistance close to their maximum respective values. This R1, R2, R3 and RL as well, and close switch S1 to AA position. This is your switch 1. It has to be positioned at AA here. This position, each switch has to be connected here and here. And switch 2 to CC, switch 2, this is your switch 2. It should be connected across the load RL, and observe the load current and IL. You should observe this load current across in this ammeter. So RL will be equals to VL by IL, load across the voltage across the load and current through the load. Number 3, this is your first case actually, case 1, and now case 2b, short the load terminal and find the short circuited current ISC. So next, compute the RINT of the network as soon as now short the load terminals to find the short circuited current ISC. So keeping your switch 1 position same as it is, but only you have to short this switch 2 position, you have to make it short over here, okay. So as we get ISC, short circuited current, or Norton short circuited current. Next, compute the resistance R internal of the network as seen from the load terminals by replace V1 220 volt source by a short circuit. Now you have to make your S1 short to connect at the BB position, this position BB, and apply V2 in this position in this switch S2 connected with V2 where V2 voltage is 110 volt, V2 voltage at 110 volt at the output terminals by closing switch S2 by DD position, this position. Here is your source V2, and read the current from ammeter I and get the R internal. Okay, so V is your 110 and I you have to read from this ammeter, and then you will get the internal resistance, equivalent internal resistance, as it is, as the primary voltage source has been shorted now. So only this 1 2 3 resistance is left in this circuit, and you replace your you put a voltage source at the output, so current flow in this way. So you have to observe this current and divide it by the voltage source, then you will get the internal network resistance, which is also called as Rn, named as Norton resistance. Now compute the load current IL applying Norton theorem. This is your Norton theorem. So as the previous one, in first case, when this is a source and this is a load, we find a load current over here. Now we will have to compare these two IL. One is coming from the conventional current flow and another is from applying by Norton theorem. By in this way, I short circuit current for short circuiting current will be multiplied with this factor of R internal by R internal plus RL. So number 6, as I already told you, compare the above computed load current with its observed value in step 2 and verify the Norton theorem. But keep remember, you should allow JavaScript alerts in your browser, and for first cases you will have to make R1, R2, R3 and RL to their maximum values, and you could may choose arbitrarily any values of V1 and V2. Not necessary it will be 220 or 110. It will be set it as per your choice. But in any case, the Norton theorem says both the IL load current in conventional load current and Norton applying by Norton theorem, in all the cases IL will be the same for the same circuit if you doesn't change anything, voltage source or resistance. Now the reading observation table, which will you get after the simulation in the real web page. You will have to take different readings. So this is your all the parameters. It will already embedded in the web page. So after doing the simulation, there will be option for print. You could take a print or soft copy as a PDF and then put the all values over there and do your calculation. Okay. Now get ready for the simulation in real web page. First step, you have to copy this URL in your browser, and then you will get this window where all the four tabs over here: theory and procedure for simulation, operating environment, what already has been mentioned in the specification table at the first of this presentation. And then step 2 will be, after reading all this procedure and theory part, you will click on this simulation tab and then you will get this window, and there has been a link given to you. You have to click there and you will go to the simulation page directly. So thank you all for today's presentation. Now let's go for the simulation. Now, hello students, let's start the simulation part. Here, when you enter this website, I already mentioned this URL at my PPT. You will find the respective 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs for theory, procedure, operating environment and simulator. First you go through these theory parts. I already discussed in the PPT. Theory as well as procedure, this page, and operating environment, what your minimum requirement to simulate this experiment. Now this is the simulation part. After clicking this tab, you have to click here. So after you click at the link, you will get this page where you can directly simulate this experiment. Verification of Norton theorems can do, and side by side you have to maintain these procedures also. First you have to allow JavaScript in your browser and keep all the resistance R1, R2, R3 and load resistance at their maximum position. Anytime you can, if you want to wish to change, you can change it from here, okay, by this way, or directly write the value in that way, okay. So first let it fix at their maximum position as per the guidance of the website, and then respective maximum value, choose any arbitrary V1 and V2 voltage. Now it's already presetted at 220 for V1 and V2 for 110, okay. So experiment part, you have find that here there 4 tabs is there for different kind of circuit and scenario. Now case 1, under case 1 you will find they have said that to get the load current, select switches S1 to power, okay. It is already set it at power, you can change it from here, and S2 to load, make it at load, okay, and then click on simulate, and this will tell you your IL, load through the current, okay. You may note down it in a different sheet, or after the experiment there will be a provision to directly copy all the readings in a table. The table I already show you in my PPT, okay. So now this is our case 1 study, when the primary power V1 is 220 and secondary power is connected, secondary power is isolated, switch 2 is connected to the load. After simulation we will get the load current. Now case number 2, when Norton short circuit current could be analysis. For this, apply switch 1 to S2. For this you first click on case 2A and then the change the switch condition, switch status of the switch. It said that S1 to short and S2 to change the S2 at Now we will go to the case 2 scenario to simulate the case 2 operation, where we have to find the Norton short circuit current. For this, first you start from here, click on case 2 tab, case 2a tab, and then set your switch accordingly. For case 2a, you have to set your switch 1 to power, it is already set it at power, and switch 2 to short, change it load from short, okay, and keeping all the values resistance in same condition and sources also, you have to click on simulate. It will tell us Norton short circuit current ISC, okay. You may note down this value. Now case 2b says that it will find the RN, Norton resistance analysis. Click on case 2b, okay, and then set the switch accordingly, apply switch 1 to short. Now you have to remove the load and also remove the primary supply and make it short, leaving only the internal resistance of the source. It is so negligible, so it is acting as a short circuit, so that's why it is written over here short, S1 short and S2 to power, okay. So if we connect a power source over here, then we could calculate the current of this circuit also, and accordingly find the resistance value, internal resistance value called RINT, which is also known as Norton resistance, okay. Now for previous one, keeping all the values same, just change our switch position and you should click on simulate. It will tell us V2 voltage and current, and from this voltage or current you should find the RN, Norton resistance, by dividing this voltage by the current. You should get it, okay. So all the three tabs are completed, circuit scenario has been simulated. Now finally we have to find again our IL with the previous values, these values. This is our short circuit current, this is our first IL when a conventional circuit is arranged, this is short circuit current, and this is our Norton resistance. By short circuit current and Norton resistance, case 3 says that using short circuit current ISC and RN, determine the load current, which should be as similar as this load current when a conventional circuit is run. So at case 3 you could not have to do anything, change any conditional change, no switch connection should be changed, no voltage parameter or resistance value should not be changed, just simulate it with this value where your RL is 300, Norton resistance is already calculated, Norton resistance is 216.67 ohms, and Norton short circuit current which is 0.67692 ampere. Simulate it, you could find the load current as well. And now you should click on this tab to import these all values in your table. It says that already calculated. So you will find the case 1 scenario when load voltage is that much, this is your load resistance, Norton short circuit current, And for case 2b, when you applied a secondary supply at the load terminal by isolating the load, and this is your current readings, in that case this is your calculated Norton value from 2b simulation part 216.67, and this is your again IL, which is get by Norton short circuit current and Norton resistance, as well as the first one. Okay, it is same. So now you could take another readings by changing your voltage or resistance, and then accordingly click on here. Okay, suppose first you reset it. Okay, make this click this refresh tab, and in case 1, suppose you change your voltage at 300 and make your secondary voltage at 150. Now maintaining this case 1 scenario, when your power switch should be in first switch 1 should be at power, switch 2 should be at load. Simulate it. It will find the conventional current of this circuit, load current IL, note down it, then click on switch case 2A, maintain the switch condition, switch 1 should be in power, okay, but switch 2 should be in short, that means load has been shorted now, and simulate. It will tell your short circuit current, Norton short circuit current. Click on case 2B, maintain the switch condition, switch 1 should be in short, switch 2 should be in power, where the V2 voltage is changing V2 voltage is 150. And now simulate. It will tell us your Norton resistance also. Now case 3, just click on simulate. Okay, it will tell your load current again, and then click on field data. Okay, you will see in same condition, if you make your resistance same and change only the voltages, your short circuit current may be changed, ISC, but your load current will be same. So in this way you could simulate this experiment. Now there will be another tab, quiz part and reference part, that will be told by your lab teacher or faculty. Okay, so when your actual lab has been started, this quiz part and reference part will be discussed. There will be some questions for you. You have to solve it as a assignment after the lab, and the references books and NPTEL video also there. So for today, up to this mark, I have to finish it over here. Thank you very much.